Hi there, welcome back to my channel. So I've just filmed a garden tour, which if you haven't seen it, I will put a link to it here and you can go, or here, not sure where, and you can go and have a look at my vegetable garden at the end of July. But I got to back to the house after filming that vegetable garden tour, realised the baby is still asleep, which never happens. So I thought that I would take the opportunity to pot some of my seedlings, separate them out, put them up into the bigger size pots, and show you how all of those seedlings are going at the moment, because I'm really thrilled with how they're doing. And I know we've been doing a lot of seedling stuff recently, but that's just the time of the year it is. We are coming up to spring here in Australia, and it is time to get ready for the spring garden. So these are most of the seedlings, but we do have some up in the propagation area inside that have just started sprouting, but these are the ones we're going to work with today. So we've got quite a few things like these tomatoes that need to be separated out into individual pots so that they can keep growing on until we're ready to put them out in the garden. So you've seen me do this before in a previous video. If you haven't, then I will post a link here, I think it is, maybe here, and you can go and watch that video. But basically, just using a premium potting mix. I've actually used this same potting mix to start my seedlings, and it's worked so much better this year than just using the seed racing mix, probably because it's actually got some food in it. So I'm just going to fill up all these pots with this potting mix, and then we will start separating out the seedlings. So it's been quite the challenge trying to get out into the garden with a newborn, particularly since he started doing cat naps instead of those nice long naps that the really little ones do. But trying to find little moments here and there to get out and achieve a few things certainly helps the mental space, I think. We can get outside and get some fresh air and do something physical. I'm not fully filling up these pots because obviously we only have some soil from the seedlings, and I can also just top them up. I'm pulling out any big chunks as well. The first things I actually want to tackle is this here. This is some cucumbers that I started this past week. And I'm really excited about these cucumbers because these are Redlands white cucumbers, and I've had so much trouble trying to get these to germinate. Couldn't get them to germinate at all last year. And I think this is my third attempt this year. I ended up just buying new seed because I figured maybe there was something wrong with the seed. And first attempt with the new seed, and they've all popped up. Unfortunately, that was the one day that I didn't check my propagation area in the morning, and by the time I got to it at like 8 o'clock that night, these had popped up and they hadn't been under the grow light yet because they were on the heat mat, and so they've gone really leggy. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to save them by separating them out nice and early into their own pots, and probably I'm going to try burying them a bit deeper. I don't know if that's something that you should do with cucumbers, but I'm going to give it a go. Worst case scenario, we have to start some more. You know what, I really feel like I need some sort of container to put the soil in. Be right back. Okay, closest thing on hand is my daughter's sand bucket, so that'll work. Okay, there we go. At least I got something to catch all that dirt now. So I don't think cucumbers really like having their roots disturbed, but I'm hoping that because I'm getting to this while they're so new, they will tolerate it. So just gently pop that down in there, and then we're going to backfill with some dirt and just bury him a little bit deeper. There we go, that looks a bit better. And now we repeat. So things like cucumbers, zucchinis, pumpkins, all those sorts of things, we usually just direct seed here in our climate. However, I'm trying a different approach this year where I am hoping to do a few successions of these sorts of things. So I thought that I would get some started now, grow them to a reasonable size and stick them out the garden, hopefully get a first succession, and then I can follow up with direct seeding. Or if I really like the way that this works, potentially start another lot of seedlings inside to put out when these ones are done. Okay, they're done. I'm going to steal the sticker off this original pot if I can. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Okay, we're just going to have to remember that these are the Redlands cucumbers until I can get some new labels done. But I've done. So next I'm going to tackle these tomatoes. So if you've just watched my vegetable garden tour, you will have heard me say that I am not growing any tomatoes this year from seed. And then tomatoes. I actually had forgotten that I grew these ones, but I decided I wasn't going to grow any big tomatoes from seed this year. I was just going to use the volunteers that pop up in the garden, of which there are plenty. But I wanted to try this particular tomato variety, which is Cherry Falls, as a potential thing to put in the new tall black pot that we've got down in the vegetable garden. I'll put a photo of what it looks like in here. I'm hoping these might be able to trail down the sides of the pot. Anyway, thought it was worth a shot. It's a variety I've not grown before. And out of all tomatoes, cherry tomatoes are probably my favourite, so they're a good thing to grow. Once again, I've just teased apart the seedlings, just very gently pulling them apart, trying to keep as much of their roots intact as possible. And then I am making a hole in the new pot and then burying them. Now tomatoes can be buried quite deep because they will form new roots off all of their stem. So you bury them deep, you end up with a better root system. So any excess plants that I end up with, I'll be able to pass on to family and friends as well. My parents try to grow a good sized vegetable garden every year up at their farm, and I have friends who have vegetable gardens as well. So these seedlings won't go to waste. And that's the baby, so I guess we will come back to this later. Alright, false alarm. Cried, but he's still asleep. So let's see how much more we can get done. I don't suspect there's going to be much. But that's okay, because he has done the best nap he has done on his own for quite a while. Normally, I end up and put him on my lap. Okay, so it's been a little while, but I'm back. I have got myself a coffee. My son is playing down on the mat, having a bit of outside playtime. I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more done. So, what I've got here are a few flowers that I've started. And I don't know anything about any of these flowers. I thought they looked pretty on the seed website and I ordered them. Okay, so this first one is an Agastache Mexicana. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but it's got quite a bit of good growth here, so I'm going to separate out all these little seedlings into these smaller pots. Where's my sand bucket? I'm going to try and do this without getting dirt in my coffee too. That'd be no good. Ooh, Okay, so I think I just got dirt in the coffee. Damn it. Make a nice little seedling. I'm just going to separate out a couple and then I'll work on putting them into the pots. I think I need like a stick or something. One of these labels will do. Make a hole down there. Gently, yeah, Arthur, I know. And then we're just going to gently, bless you, bless you. Just going to gently poke that. I have no idea whether these sorts of flowers tolerate this, messing around with them, but there we go. Next up we have some poppies. Let's check out the growth on those. They're doing so good. So basically same process as the other one. Rinse and repeat. Okay, attempt number 3. Baby is back down for a nap. Let's see if we can get this finished finally. So I got halfway through doing the poppies, so I better go find some more pots and see if we can finish these off. I ended up with a lot of seedlings here. I don't know if I'm going to have enough pots for them all. Okay, so the final flower I've got here is the Armeria Mardi Gras, and I've only had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 of these come up. Again, need more pots. Okay, I don't think I've got any more pots, so what to do? What I might do is these. These beautiful looking seedlings are a Rosella hibiscus, and you grow these up and then you harvest the calyxes from these, and then you can actually use them to make jams and syrups and all sorts of yummy things. So these I might actually put up into bigger pots, and then we can put the Armeria into this. And they're definitely a warm, loving plant, so I don't want to put them out yet. Well, it took a few tries, but we got there in the end, and I'm really pleased about getting all those seedlings separated. So I hope you enjoyed watching that, and you will join me on the next video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you then.